Welcome to Soul Heart Intuitive, a space for intuitive astrology, soul reflection, and grounded cosmic guidance. I'm Sarah from Soul Heart Intuitive Coaching, and together we'll explore the wisdom of the skies and the wisdom already living within you. Each episode is an invitation to slow down, listen more deeply, and reconnect with the truth your soul already knows. So take a breath, settle in, and let's begin. Hey, beautiful souls. I'm Sarah, your soul oracle, deconditioning coach, and mirror here at Soul Heart Intuitive Coaching. And this is your energy update for the week of July 12th to July 18th. So this week, something is coming into focus, not through force and not through urgency, not even through trying to figure everything out, but through awareness, through remembering, and through allowing yourself to see what has been there all along. The kind of shift that doesn't arrive from the outside, it rises from within. And if you're willing to slow down enough, you'll start to feel it. The energy this week isn't asking you to rush ahead. It's asking you to listen more closely to your heart, to your intuition, and to the wisdom that's hidden beneath the noise. Because something important is being revealed, and it needs presence to be understood. On July 12th, the Sun and Mercury will unite in the sign of Cancer. Something from the past may return, a memory, a conversation, a realization, not to pull you backward, but to help you understand how far you've come. What once felt confusing may suddenly make sense, and what once felt painful may reveal its purpose. This is a moment of reflection, a moment of understanding, a moment of seeing your story through new eyes. On July 13th, Venus and Virgo will square Uranus and Gemini, and something begins asking for more space, not distance, not disconnection, but space, the kind that allows something healthier to grow. You may notice where you've been holding on too tightly, trying to control outcomes, trying to create certainty, trying to make things stay the same. But pause and ask yourself, what would happen if I trusted the process instead? Because sometimes growth requires room to breathe. Then the Cancer new moon arrives on July 14th, a sacred beginning, a return to yourself, a return to what truly nourishes you. This is not a new moon that asks you to chase. It's a new moon that asks you to receive, to create safety within yourself, to honor your emotional needs, to build a stronger foundation beneath the life you've been creating. Ask yourself, what helps me feel supported? What helps me feel at home within myself? What am I ready to nurture moving forward? On July 15th, Uranus and Gemini will sextile Neptune and Aries. A new vision begins emerging, one that blends intuition with action, possibility with purpose. The future may not look exactly like you imagined, and that's okay, because you're not losing your way. You're outgrowing old maps. So stay open to what is evolving. There is wisdom in what is unfolding, even if you can't see the entire path yet. By July 18th, Uranus and Gemini will form a trine to Pluto and Aquarius, and something begins to shift, not through struggle, but through awakening, a new perspective, a new possibility, a new understanding of what is available to you. Old limitations will begin loosening their grip. Old identities will begin falling away, and what emerges feels more aligned with who you're becoming. This isn't transformation through force, it's transformation through awareness. This week isn't about having all the answers. It's about becoming willing to see what is changing, to see what no longer fits, and to see what is ready to emerge. And if emotions surface, if memories return, if old patterns become impossible to ignore, you're not moving backward. You're becoming more conscious. So don't rush the process. Don't force clarity. Let understanding arrive in its own timing. Because the real transformation isn't happening around you, it's happening within you. And it isn't asking for perfection, only honesty, only presence, only your willingness to trust what is unfolding. Because the person you're becoming is already here. This week is simply helping you recognize them. So take a breath. Remember, you're not behind. You're right on time. And everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You're not leaving the path. You are the path. So overall energy for this week, we have Saturn return, age, Sun spirit, and Scorpio, I transform. So this is really a time where your age and your wisdom and all the things that you have learned over the years are really starting to come back and to work with you and to make you see things for what they are. Spirit is putting a spotlight on where it is that you need to transform and how it is that you need to transform to become the next best and brightest version of yourself. So what is it that you need to do so that you can reach that pinnacle and that point of who it is that you're meant to become? Spirit has something to tell you. but you need to be willing to listen. So take the information that you've learned, take everything that you've accumulated over the years, and really put it into practice. Look at things through a new set of eyes so that you can see things for what they really are, and allow spirit to communicate through you. Listen to what your intuition has to say and start to transform your life for something that could be bigger and brighter than you ever imagined. So I've pulled cards for each of the zodiac signs, and the messages, they are layered. Our sun and rising sign, that's where your future self is whispering to you through the veil. So let's tune in. Remember, this isn't a matter of controlling the outcome, but to mirror back what your soul already knows is ready to shift. So let this be your pause, your anchor, and your reminder that this energy isn't here to break you, it's here to recalibrate you. So, starting with Aries. Aries, your card this week is emotional blackout, shock, freeze response, and internal collapse. So, all this information that's coming at you, you might have trouble dealing with it. It might cause shock to your system, and it might cause you to just emotionally not be able to handle it. And you know what? That's okay. You don't have to make decisions right away. You can work with the energy and see what it's revealing to you over the course of time. You don't have to make a decision right now, but you do need to start to make a decision. So sometimes when we go through shock, it's a way of protecting us. Our body kind of shuts down and provides us with a mechanism in which to sit and to really think and to see things for where they are and where they might be going and to really think about all of the different possibilities. But it is there as a coping mechanism. It is not something that you are meant to stay in for perpetuity. It is something that you are meant to be in momentarily as that time of reflection and that time of the universe protecting you, and for you to then step out of it and say, okay, this is what I know, this is what I have learned, and what can I do, and how can I utilize this information moving forward so that I can become and step into this person that I'm meant to be. Taurus, your card this week is Hold Your Inner Child, Love, Safety, and Reparenting. This is really a time for you to think back to what it was in your childhood that triggered you. So you are looking more into the past than you are into the present. Your past has something to tell you, something about the way that you were loved, something about the way that safety was provided to you, or the way that you were parented. And to really think at those and look at those things for what they might be and what they are. You might not have had the childhood that you wish. You might not have had the parents that you wish, but it is something that you chose as a soul in order to learn. This is a time for you to take those pieces that you wanted then and to really utilize them for yourself now. What did you want then? What were you missing then? And how can you bring that into your life now? Now, remember, you may want things to fit and to mold in a certain way, but things aren't fitting and molding in that way anymore. So you need to open yourself up to the possibility of what things could look like. But be kind to yourself. Be kind to your inner child as you're going through all of this. There are things that you need to do, and they might not happen the way that you want them to, but they are meant to happen. So parent yourself through this the way that you wish that you had been parented as a child. Gemini, your card this week is Your Fullness is Sacred, Big Emotions, Loud Truths, and Worthy Presence. There are a lot of things that are happening for you right now, Gemini. The truth is coming out whether you want to hear it or not, and it's important that you listen to it. Might experience big emotions as a result of it. It is not problematic that you are experiencing these big emotions and these loud truths because it is here to help ground you and to make you realize that this is part of who you are. Big emotions, loud truths, you're saying them, you're receiving them. But it's important that you listen, open yourself up to the possibility of what it is that's out there, because this fullness is part of something that you are meant to learn, something that you are meant to know. You don't have all of the answers yet. These truths and emotions are leading you in a new direction, and you need to open yourself up to what that possibility could be. You have presence. You are worthy just by being you. You don't have to manipulate yourself to move in the direction that other people expect you to go. You can be in multiple places at one time, and it's okay that you are. But open yourself up to the possibility and know that you as a whole person are sacred and that you being a complete person has its advantages and information that it is supposed to tell you and it's supposed to give you and to lead you in the direction to embracing all of yourself. Cancer, your card this week is Reclaim the Lost Self, Identity, Power, and Soul Retrieval. So, Cancer, you might have been trying to control something to make things fit into your own box. And as a result of you trying to control something, you have lost a part of yourself. You have either been taking somebody else's power or you have been giving away your own power. But it is important that you stick within the boundaries of you. Reclaim that piece of yourself that was lost. If you are taking other people's power, let other people control themselves. Let other people make decisions for themselves. If they make decisions that aren't in alignment with you or you don't feel that are in alignment with you, maybe they're not. But maybe they're trying to teach you something or move you in a different direction than what you wanted to go in. Just because you don't have control over a situation doesn't mean that's entirely bad. It just can mean that you're headed in a new direction and you need to open yourself up to the possibility. Reconnect with who you are as a person. Retrieve parts of your soul that you might have lost and see how those pieces start to come together and see them for what they are. You can be a whole person, but you have to reclaim the part of yourself that you lost along the way, either through giving it up or for just losing track of who it is that you are. So, Cancer, reclaim your lost self this week. Leo, your card this week is Need to Be Right, Control, Argument Loop, and Fear of Losing. Now, this kind of piggybacks a little bit off of what I was talking about with Cancer. Your need to be right is preventing you from seeing things the way that you need to see. You so desperately want to control the situation for what you want it to be that you can't see it for what it is. And as a result, you're in this loop. And this loop, you're afraid of losing something. But your fear of losing something, most likely you're already in the process of losing it because you're trying to control it. And you're trying to control it so tightly that it's just slipping through your grip. Allow yourself to see things for what they are. Let go of the need to be right so that you can see things for what they are. Our need to be right it's just a coping mechanism. And it's a way of you wanting to control things and not see the shadows for what they are. They are shadows. And there are things that you can work on, and there are things that you should work on and that you need to work on. So, Leo, this is the week for you to work on your need to be right. Virgo, your card this week is Hero, Overfunctioning, Martyrdom, and Burnout. You're not here to save everybody, Virgo. The only person that you can save is yourself, and sometimes that can be a challenge in and of itself any given day. But as a result of you needing to save everybody else, you're just feeling tired and you're feeling burned out and you don't want to have to make any decisions anymore. So this is really a week for you to take a step back, for you to take care of yourself so that you can start to see things clearly the way that you're meant to see them. Not as somebody that has to step in and save somebody, but sometimes you have to let other people learn the lessons for what they are. Allow other people to learn their own lessons. Allow yourself to learn your lessons. So really take a step back this week and take care of yourself so that you can start to recover and so that you can start to see your future for what it is. Because there is a bright future ahead of you if you just allow yourself to feel it and to let other people feel theirs. Libra, your card this week is Fear of Intimacy, Vulnerability, Exposure, and Fear of Connection. So your fear of intimacy is preventing you from connecting with people as you're truly meant to connect with people. You need to be vulnerable. You need to be authentic. You need to allow people to see you for who you are. And that fear of connection is preventing you from developing that sense of intimacy that you want to have. So this is really a week for you to look at how can you be vulnerable? How can you be authentic with other people so that they can see you for who you are and you can see them for who they are? Let yourself out this week. Show people who you really are, and then they can show you who they really are. And then you can start to move forward and see what it is that you like about yourself and what it is that you like about others, and make a decision from that place of vulnerability and authenticity. Scorpio, your card this week is triggered, pain body, instant reaction, and unconscious loops. So, Scorpio, you are being triggered this week. Not all triggers are bad. Triggers are here, they're here to show us something. So, all of a sudden, where is it that you start to get really angry? And where is it that you just get into your head? Those are the points that you need to pay attention to this week. Do you have pain in a certain point in your body? Each one of those can give you information. Those instant reactions, those things that are just all of a sudden you go from 0 to 60 and you're like, what the hell just happened to me? I was happy 10 seconds ago, and all of a sudden now I am pissed off. That is your trigger. So, what is it that triggered you? And then why did you get triggered? Now, most likely you got triggered because of something in your personal past or some past life event that happened, and all of a sudden it's triggering something in you that's unconscious. But you don't have to stay there. You can work through those shadows, you can work through those triggers, and you can see them for what they are. You can move past them. And this is a week for you to start to look at them, to become aware, and to start to look past them. See them for what they are. They are triggers, and you don't have to stay there. Sagittarius, your card this week is parental control, overpowering authority, conditional approval, and rebellion freeze. So we're seeing a theme here of control. Control is really coming up. So where is it that you are overpowering either your own authority or somebody else's? You don't have to try and control people. Now, this could be in relation to something from your past as well. Where did your parents try and control you? Do you repeat that pattern now? Because if you do, then you can start to work with what it is that happened in your own childhood and as a relationship with your parents, and start to look at things a little bit differently. This is really a week for you to look at authority. How do you respond to authority? How do you respond to authority figures? What happens when somebody tells you what to do? And how do you respond to that? Those are the pieces that you need to look at, and those are the pieces that you need to work on this week. Capricorn, your card this week is numb one, disconnection, emotional freeze, and avoidant coping. So, Capricorn, you are trying to numb out and you're trying not to see things for what they really truly are. You are having trouble seeing what it is that you are meant to see because you don't want to see it. You want things to be all bright and happy and rainbows and unicorns, but that is not how life is right now. It's not how life ever is. You are trying to avoid something, and as a result, you're just numbing yourself out. But what happens when the harder that you try and numb yourself, the more everything just comes at you from all different directions. You are meant to see the truth for what it is. There's a reason that it is the truth. You need to pay attention to what that truth is. How are you trying to numb yourself? And what are you using to numb yourself? And why are you trying to numb yourself? Because deep down, intuitively, you know the answer, but you don't want to acknowledge it because there's some fear that's there. So why are you trying to avoid this? And what are you using as coping mechanisms? Coping mechanisms. And how can you reconnect to yourself so that you aren't numbing yourself out and you can see things emotionally clearly? Aquarius, your card this week is forgiveness sets you free, release, unhooking, and peace. This is a time to give yourself forgiveness and to give other people forgiveness. Just because you forgive somebody else for something that they did, it's more of a gift to you than it is a gift to them. Because it just means that you don't have to pay attention anymore to what it is that those people did to you. You can start to let it go. This is a time for you to release. This is a time for you to develop a sense of peace, for you to feel what that is. And once you have that sense of peace and that sense of release, then you can start to see things clearly. You can see things for what they are, and you can start to step into that next chapter. That next chapter is here waiting for you, but have to be willing to let go of the past so that you can move forward into the present and into the future. And Pisces, your card this week is love is in control, attachment, fear, and misunderstanding. So there's that control mechanism again. Remember, if you love somebody for who they are, you don't try to control them. You let them make decisions for themselves. You let them be who they are. Control is not love. Control is a fear mechanism. It is there as a shadow. It is there to show you where it is that you need to work, not a place for you to use against somebody else. So, love yourself and other people enough and let go of control this week. You are not meant to control other people. They are not meant to control you. And if they are trying to control you or you're trying to control somebody else, remember that is not love. That is fear. So remember, you're not lost. You're between stories. So let the messages find a place in your body, even if they don't make sense yet, because sometimes the most powerful knowing comes in the quiet after the card is pulled. So let the messages you received anchor your next step, even if you can't see the full map yet. Our sun and rising sign are codes that are layered. Let them sit. Let them settle. And if you're craving deeper cosmic guidance and spiritual anchoring, come join me inside the Soul Keys Temple. It's my signature monthly membership. You'll find full details at www.soulheartintuitivecoaching.com. And you can also always book a personal soul session with me if you want to go deeper one-on-one. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, and the magic continues there. So here's to a week of sacred pivots, anchored clarity, and deep inner resonance. So stay tuned in, stay luminous, stay you, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you for spending your time with me here at Soul Heart Intuitive. If this episode resonated, please be sure to follow the podcast and share it with someone who may need this message today. And if you're ready to explore your own cosmic blueprint, cycles, and the deeper wisdom guiding your path, you can learn more or book a session at www.soulheartintuitivecoaching.com. Until next time, trust your intuition, stay connected to your truth, and remember to stay connected to the wisdom within you.